Ben, an 8-wicket win in this first test, a great start to the tour.
Yeah, really good. Very, very solid team performance. You look back at sort of early on day 2 when we were put under pressure by New Zealand when we had the bat in hand. Being 40 for 3 is obviously not the start that you would want, but to be able to get up to 500 in our first innings and obviously have a nice healthy lead going into New Zealand's second innings with a bat was brilliant. But the way in which the bowlers ran in throughout the whole time that we were out in the field was fantastic. It was a real sort of input week, I think, especially that first innings. We didn't necessarily get the wickets with our best balls, but I think it was just a real good accumulation of pressure. And when you're putting pressure onto a batting lineup like we did, it's sometimes the balls that you don't necessarily think you're going to take wickets with get some.
And I know Harry got the 100 and Brydon got 10 for in the match, but it seems everyone really chipped in this week, so how satisfying was that?
Yeah, really good. At the end of a game, when someone gets 180 and someone gets 10 for, they're the guys who are probably always going to get spoken about. But it's the little phases of games, especially in Test cricket, where Chris Woakes yesterday, those 2 wickets and 2 balls massively changed that game for us. Even Gus again, you're getting an early wicket with a great caught and bowled. Those small little things obviously add to the greater thing of trying to win the Test match. But Harry Brook and Brydon Carse were simply outstanding as individuals this week.
Yeah, you mentioned Chris Woakes. How pleasing was it for him? Because there's been a lot of external noise about his record away from home, so to go out and do what he did yesterday must have been really good.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's external noise. It's something that we certainly as a group don't try and focus on heavily too much. We know the skills and the attributes that Chris Woakes adds to any team that he's in. His ability with the new ball, his consistent line and length's always going to be making it hard for oppositions to score. And he didn't get any runs this week, but having Chris Woakes walking at number 8 is obviously he's going to add a huge amount of value to any team. So look, we know the skill that he possesses as a cricketer, and he's done a great job this week again.
And Brydon with his maiden 5 for and 10 for in the match. Obviously know him from Durham, but he must have a hell of a performance this week.
Yeah, look, I grew up with Brydon, seen him, make his way in the first class scene with Durham. Always known the skill and the ability that he possesses as a cricketer. So to see him transfer that over, obviously in Pakistan, but now into over here in different conditions in New Zealand is great. The wicket obviously had a little bit more in it than in Pakistan, and he certainly exposed that. So for him to walk off with 10 wickets there, especially with it being in a win, is obviously great for him. And obviously a massive confidence boost for him as well. And
it seems he thrives on that enforcer role, and he also thrives when you ask him to pitch it up as well. So how handy is it to have someone like that in your squad?
It's as a bowling unit, we really like a variable attack. So having someone like Brydon who possesses skills to be able to not only run in, bowl quick, but he can be the enforcer as he just said, but also he's took 10 wickets here, but you look at his economy rate as well, that's very, very impressive. So to have a bowler with his abilities to be able to play a completely 3, almost 4 different roles is massive.
And let's talk about your own form. You batted a little bit down the order this week, but nice feeling to get in the runs again.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, again, coming in and sort of where the game was in the balance. For me, it was just about building a partnership with Brookie. Obviously, it's nice going in when Harry Brook's on, 80 and he's seeing the ball like a football. But yeah, having Brydon batting at number 10 obviously gives you a lot of confidence knowing that you can take it deeper. But to be honest, I was looking to give those 2 the strike. Gus and Brydon came out and played absolute worldies. So that just adds, just proves the value of having guys who can bat all the way down the order. How much that adds to you being able to go on and make a big score.
Just a couple more. We saw you come off midway through your over. Everything okay? Just precautionary?
Yeah, more than anything, to be honest. It's been a pretty big week. I spent a lot of time in the field, bowled 20 overs, hurt my back diving for a ball. So, look, it's just sort of all mixed into one. A little bit stiff, but the position of the game that we were in, obviously we were on top. So, look, it was more precaution than anything. Didn't want to make anything worse than I needed to, so I'll be good for Wellington.
And you've added Ollie Robinson to the squad. You obviously know him from Durham. What can he bring to this Test side?
Look, he's been incredible form for Durham. Since he made the move to us, he's been a huge part of Durham's success over the last couple of years. The way that he takes the game on with the bat fits perfectly into this team. He deserves to be here. His record for that speaks for itself. Obviously with Jamie currently back home with his partner waiting for the berth, I think it's a great opportunity for Ollie. and someone who fits into this team and its ethos perfectly well.
I know Joe wouldn't want you to talk about it, but how fitting was it that Joe was at the crease at the end, 150th test? I know Bethel took the headlines away from him there at the end.
Yeah, look, Joe, 150 test matches is just a phenomenal effort. You know, just there's so much cricket, so much warm-ups as well. It's probably the worst part about it, to be honest.
So much fielding, he said to us.
Yeah. But look, he's been incredible. You know, obviously didn't get the runs. Well, he didn't get any runs in the first innings, but he just walks back into the dressing room there, you know, and it's just not his day. And you know, to have that, I don't know what the word is, just to have that self-belief in yourself that I'm going to get another go. I think it's infectious throughout the group. You know, you look at, you know, young Jacob Bethel coming in and seeing Joe Root, you know, just sort of be all right with it. But yeah, I love the way he went out there and played there in that situation. It's always tricky when you don't have too many runs to score. But yeah, it was good to see Joe finish there, and hopefully that can continue that form for the rest of the series.
Well done today. See you in Wellington.
Thanks, mate.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.